Hello all, welcome to my channel. My name is Freddy and today I am going to talk about my Victober 2020 TBR. And I've known about Victober ever since, even before I joined BookTube. When, during my life as a lurker, but I never really participated in Victober before. And I think since this is my first year as a booktuber, this is also going to be my first time formally joining Victober, and I'm really excited because I used to read quite, I wouldn't say a lot, but I used to be a fan of, um, of Victorian classics when I was much younger before I attended college. But then I think these few years I've been reading mostly contemporary works. So I think this is the perfect opportunity for me to get back to Victorian classics, and I'm really excited. And Victober is organized for information by Katie from Books and Things, Kate Howe, and Lucy the Reader. And with this year's Victober, there are also a few challenges which I thought are kind of interesting. So let's see the challenges. The first challenge is actually Katie's challenge, and this one is to read a Victorian book that equates to my favorite modern genre. I don't usually define my reading based on genre, so I would just say I like literary fiction, and it's a really broad category. So that means I could pretty much choose anything, almost anything. So I actually have one book that I would love to read. We actually have the abridged version for kids of this book at home, but I did not read it at the time when I was younger, and so I do not have any clue about what the story is going to be like for this book. But it is also like one of the authors that I would love to get into. So this one is George Eliot's Silas Marner, and like I said, I would kind of consider this one as a literary fiction because this is a book about humans and their human conditions. Really general when you describe it like that, but I don't know much about the story, and I think this is about a mean person. I think a mean and friendless person who is probably going to undergo some changes in their character development stuff. Hmm. So moving on to the second challenge, and that will be Lucy's challenge. And this one is to read a Victorian diary or collection of letters. Now, I actually do not have any Victorian diary or collection of letters under my possession. I don't have any of those. But, 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 I have something else. I have a fictional diary instead. So this one is The Diary of a Nobody by George and Whedon Grossmith. So this is a comic novel, so I expect this one to be kind of funny. I just kind of discovered this book this year, and it's a pretty small book too, and there are some illustrations in this book, so I think this is going to be quite interesting. And so moving on to the third challenge, and that would be Kate's challenge. Read a new book, a new to me book, and or short story by a favorite Victorian author. So one of my favorite Victorian authors is actually Charlotte Bronte, and my favorite book by Charlotte Bronte was Villette, which I read quite a few years ago, and I really enjoyed that book because it was a quiet book. It was a relaxing book, and I love quiet books. So this time around, I would love to read more by Charlotte Bronte. It has been many years since I've read anything by her, and this one is The Professor. And actually, alongside these challenges in 2020 Victober, there is also going to be a read-along, and it's for Charlotte Bronte's Shirley, but unfortunately I do not have that book right now, and so I won't be joining the read-along, which is a shame, but I don't know, maybe I'll get into Shirley later. So the next question would be the reader's challenge, and it is to read a Victorian book from a previous Victober TBR that I didn't get into, which I didn't have because I did not have a previous Victober TBR, or one I've been meaning to read for ages. So this one is Elizabeth Gaskell, Mary Barton. Um, this is the only Gaskell book that I have with me right now. I actually bought some books by Elizabeth Gaskell before, which I have not read, by the way. And I think I bought Cranford, but yeah, I've not read that one. But but I've been meaning to, read something by Elizabeth Gaskell. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for me to get into Gaskell, and I'm going to start with Mary Barton. Actually, there is also another challenge, and that is the general challenge. To read a Victorian book while wearing something Victorian or Victorian-esque. And as of now, I'm not sure how I'm going to join this particular challenge. So I think I'm going to defer. So overall, I have 4 books lined up for my Victober TBR, and I'm really excited. And as for my own personal reading expectation, of course, there's a possibility that I'm not going to finish all of these 4 books within this month. You have to be realistic, and I think October is going to be kind of busy for me also outside of my reading life. So I don't think that I'll be able to finish all of these 4 books, but who knows? Maybe I could. So that's it for now for my Victober lined up, and I'll see you again in a different video. And until then, take care. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.